Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this year's show from the University of Gilbert Sullivan Society. Big thank you to all our main sponsors, to ASPC, Living and Charmers, and Fugro. Can we please remind you that flash photography is not permitted during the performance, and can you please switch your mobile phones off? Thanks very much and enjoy the show.
yo-ho, and his arms around her waist. The man comes along, we know the hills swing the sound. Will the young all around me look around the homeward bound? Will the yo-ho, and the love will know.
A year ago, I was a member of the Pitti-Sing town band. It was my duty to take the cap round for contributions while the staging this delicate office. I saw young. We loved each other at once, but she was betrothed to a guardian Coco, a cheap tailor, and I saw that my suit was hopeless. Overwhelmed with despair, I quit the town, but judge of my delight when I heard a month ago that Coco had been condemned to death for flirting. I hurried back at once, in the hope of finding young at liberty to toss into my protestations.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and raised to the rank of Lord High Executioner under the following remarkable circumstances. Our great Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to triumph, land thereby and men oppressed his head. Oh, he decreed in words that said that all the leader with, unless God you be our victory, forthwith be beheaded, beheaded, forthwith be beheaded. And I execute all agree that he was right to so decree, and I am right and you are right, and all is right, right and me, and you are right, and we are right, and all is right, right and you, and all is right, and we, right. This damn decree you'll understand, God's greatest made throughout the land, for young and old, and shy and bold were equally affected. The youth going down roaming, I agree, down on connubial side. Was thereupon condemned to die, he usually object, usually objected. And you learn that I expect that he was right to object, and I am right, and you are right, and everything is quite correct. You are right, and we are right, and everything is quite correct, and everything is quite correct. All is correct. And so we straight let out on bail a convict from the county jail, whose head was next on some pretext condemned to be blown off, and made him headsman, for we said, who's next to be decapitated, cannot cut off another's head until he's cut his own off, his own off, his own off. And
Chief Tailor, Lord High Executioner of Pitti-Poo, why that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
And it is. Nor logical Mikado, seeing no moral difference between the dignified judge who condemns a criminal to die and the industrious mechanic who carries out the sentence, has rolled both offices into one, and every judge is now his own executioner.
And how good of you for a seer, a nobleman of the highest rank, to condescend to tell all this to me, a mere strolling minstrel.
Nah, don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive person of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand this when I tell you I can trace my ancestry back to a protoplasmic, primordial, atomic globule. Consequently, my family pride is something inconceivable. I cannot help it, and I was born sneering. But now I struggle hard to overcome this defect, and I mortify my pride continually. When all the great officers of state resigned in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor, did I not unhesitatingly accept all their posts at once?
And the salaries attached to them. You did.
Consequently, it is my degrading duty to serve this upstart, Nes First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse, Archbishop of Pitti-Poo, and Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, and all rolled into one. And at a salary of Pooh-Bah paid for his services. I, a salary minion. But I do it. Oh, it revolts me, but I do it.
And it does you credit.
But I don't stop there. I go and dine with middle-class persons on reasonable terms. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. And I accept refreshment at any hands, however lowly. I also retail state secrets in any particularly low figure. For instance, any further information about Yum Yum would come under the head of a state secret. Oh, another insult! And I think a light one. Young man, despair, likewise go to Yum the bear. You must not woo, it will not do. I'm sorry for you, you very imperfect evolutioner. This very day from school, Yum will wend her way and homeward come with the beat of the drum and the rum to wed the Lord, my executioner. And the brass will crash and the trumpets ring and they'll come and dash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as honor with the Lord, my executioner. She'll toddle away as honor with the Lord, my executioner. It's a hopeless case, as you may see, and in your place, away I flee, but don't blame me, I'm sorry to be of your pleasure, a diminutioner. They'll found their pact extremely soon. In point of fact, this afternoon, her honeymoon with Matheson at 7 commences, so you shall learn. And the brass will crash, and the trumpets break, and they'll come to be as you've recited. But here he comes, equipped as suits his station. He'll give you any further information.
Attention to duty. I shall ensure a continuance of those favours which it will ever be my study to deserve. if I should ever be called upon to act professionally, I'm happy to think that there will be no difficulty in finding plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. As someday it may happen that the victim must be found, I've got a little list of societal offenders who might well be underground, and who never would be missed, There's the councillors from Aberdeen who like to lunch for free. They use the common group fund and don't buy a Christmas tree. And silly men in red and white who play a bit or three. They haven't played a decent game since 1923. And all my persons who on closing grab and rich insist, they none of them be missed. He's got them on the list, and now none of them be missed. There's the mobile war enthusiast and others of this race. Sally Army convertists, I've got them on the list. The kids who look over the balcony in the bonnet coat, they'd none of them be missed. The grannies who just shuffle round Union Street all day. I really love them dearly and they're never in the way. And later and bitty way, the ones in their short skirts, I check them out on Saturday and gosh, they are such flirts. That singular anomaly, that bloody mime artist, but I don't think she'd be missed. I'm sure she'd not be missed. He's got her on the list, and I don't think she'd be missed. I'm sure she'd not be missed. I said at the beginning that her victim must be found, but how long was the list? Just how long was the list? Big seagull pigeons too, and all those Kappa tracksuit bands. They'd none of them be missed. The ministers of the Scottish schools when exam results don't show. He puts the blame on SQA and doesn't bloody go. And that lady on the BBC who likes to see men cry, who says you are the weakest link before she says decline. But it really doesn't matter who you put up on the list, for they none of them be missed. You may put them on the list, none of them be missed, none of them be missed. Pooh-Bah? It seems that festivities in connection with my approaching marriage must last a week. I should like to do it handsomely, and I wish to consult you as to the amount I ought to spend upon them.
Why, certainly. In which of my capacities? As First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chamberlain, Attorney General, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse, and their Private Secretary.
Suppose we say as Private Secretary.
Speaking as your Private Secretary, I should say that the city will have to pay for it. Don't stint yourself and do it well.
Exactly. As the city will have to pay for it, that is your advice.
And as Private Secretary, of course, you will understand that as Chancellor of the Exchequer, and I am bound to see that due economy is observed.
Oh, but you said just now, don't stint yourself, do it well.
And as Private Secretary.
And now you say that due economy must be observed.
And as Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I see. Well, come over here where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now, as my solicitor, how do you advise me to deal with these difficulties?
Now, speaking as your solicitor, I should have no hesitation in saying, chance it.
Thank you, I will.
Nay, this were not that. And as Lord Chief Justice, and I am bound to see the law is not violated.
Well, come over here where the Chief Justice can't hear us. Now, as First Lord of the Treasury?
And as First Lord of the Treasury. And I could propose a special vote that would cover all expenses. If it were not that, and as leader of the opposition, it would be my duty to resist it, in tooth and nail. Or, as Paymaster General, and I could so cook the accounts, that as Lord High Auditor, I should never discover the fraud. But then, as Archbishop of Pitti-Sing, it would be my duty to denounce my dishonesty, and give myself into my own custody. This first Commissioner of Police.
That's extremely awkward.
And I don't say that all these distinguished persons couldn't be squared, but it is only right to say they would not be sufficiently degraded in their own estimation unless they were insulted with a very considerable bribe.
The matter shall have my careful consideration. But my bride and her sister's approach, and any little compliment on your part, such as an abject grovel and a characteristic Japanese attitude, would be esteemed a favor.
Yeah.
that was the idea.
Seems odd, doesn't it?
It's rather peculiar.
Oh, I expect it's all right. Must have a beginning. You know. Well, of course, I know nothing about such things, but I've no objection if it's usual.
Oh, it's quite usual, I think. Lord Chamberlain.
I have known it done.
Thank goodness that's over. Why, that's never you! Oh, that's lovely!
I beg your pardon. Will you present me?
Oh, it isn't
One at a time, if you please.
If you please. This is a musician who used to play so beautifully on the Marine Parade. Yes, I believe that was the name of the instrument.
Sir, I have the misfortune to love your ward. Oh, I know I deserve your anger.
Anger? Not a bit, my boy. Why, I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Pretty eyes, nice hair. Taking everything altogether. Very glad to hear my opinion backed up by a competent authority. Thank you very much. Take a seat.
I beg your pardon, but what is this? Customer comes to try on.
That is a tremendous swell.
What am I?
Oh, go away, little girls. Can't talk to little girls like you. Go away.
Allow me to present you, Pooh-Bah. These are my 3 wards. The one in the middle is my bride-elect.
What do you want me to do to them? Mind, I shall not kiss them.
Oh, no, you shan't kiss them. A little bow. A mere nothing. You needn't mean it, you know.
It goes against the grain. They're not young ladies. They're young persons.
Oh, come, make an effort. There's a good nobleman.
But I shan't mean it. Oh, my good self-laugh, said Sir.
That's very good.
Now I see nothing to laugh at. It is very painful me to have to say young persons, and nothing to have to say to anyone under the rank of stockbroker.
Don't laugh at him. He can't help it. He's under treatment for it. Never mind, then. They don't understand the delicacy of your position.
Never mind. We understand how delicate it is, don't we?
I should think we did. How a nobleman of your importance can do it at all is a thing I never can, never shall understand.
At last we're alone. I such night and day for 3 weeks in the place that your guardian was beheaded, and now I find you're about to be married to him this afternoon.
yes.
But you do not love him.
Alas, no.
Modified rapture. But why do you not refuse him?
What good would that do? He's my guardian and he wouldn't let me marry you.
But I would wait until you're of age.
You forget, in Japan, girls do not reach the youth discretion until they are 50.
True, from 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion.
Besides, a wandering minstrel who plays a wind instrument outside tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of the Lord High Executioner.
But shall I tell her? Yes, she will not betray me. What if it should prove that after all I am no musician?
There, I was certain all the tarantula I heard you play.
What if it should prove that after all I am no other than the son of His Majesty the Mikado?
Son of the Mikado? But why is your Highness disguised? And what has your Highness done? And will your Highness promise never to do it again?
Some time ago, I had the misfortune to captivate Katisha, an elder lady of my father's court. She misconstrued my customary affabilities into expressions of affection and claimed me in marriage under my father's law. My father, the Lucius Junius Brutus of his race, ordered me to marry within a week or perish ignominiously on the scaffold. That night, I fled his court, and assuming the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band in which you found me, and had the happiness of seeing you.
If you please, I think your Highness had better not come too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
But we're quite alone, and nobody can see us.
Well, that doesn't make it right. To flirt is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Deuce take the law.
I wish it would, but it won't.
If we're not for the law, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
If we're not for the law, we should be sitting side by side. Like that.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile off, like that.
Gazing into each other's eyes, like that.
Breathing sighs of unutterable love, like that.
For arms around each other, like that.
Yes, if it wasn't for the law.
If it wasn't for the law,
As it is, of course, we couldn't do anything of the kind.
not for worlds,
Being engaged to Coco, you know.
be engaged to Coco. Were you not to Coco blinded, I would sing till you told. Love one, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I will merge our rank and station,
There she goes. To think how entirely my future happiness is wrapped up in that little parcel. It hardly seems worthwhile. Oh, matrimony. Now then, what is it? Can't you see I'm soliloquizing? You have interrupted an apostrophe, sir.
I am the bearer of a letter from His Majesty the Mikado.
A letter? From the Mikado? What in the world can you have to say to me? Oh, it's in Japanese. I hear it is at last. I thought it would come sooner or later. The Mikado is struck by the fact that no executions have taken place in Pitti-Poo for a year, and decrees that unless somebody is beheaded within 1 month, the post of Lord High Executioner shall be abolished, and the city reduced to the rank of a village.
That would involve us all in irretrievable ruin.
Yes, there's no help for it. I shall have to execute somebody at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
Well, it seems, none kind to say so, but as you're already under sentence of death for flirting, everything seems to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't execute myself.
Why not?
Why not? Well, because in the first place, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to say dangerous thing to attempt. And in the second, it's suicide. And suicide is a capital offense.
That is so, no doubt.
We might reserve that point.
True, it could be argued 6 months hence before the full court.
Besides, I don't see how a man can cut off his own head.
A man might try.
Even if you only succeeded in cutting it half off, that would be something.
Indeed, it will be taken as an earnest of your ability to comply with the imperial will.
No. Pardon me, but there I'm out of it. As official headsman, my reputation is at stake, and I can't consent to embark upon a professional operation unless I can see my way to a successful result.
This professional conscientiousness is highly creditable to you, but it places us in a terribly awkward position.
My good sir, the awkwardness of your position is grace itself compared with that of a man engaged in the act of cutting off his own head.
I'm afraid that unless you can obtain a substitute...
A substitute? Oh, certainly. Nothing easier. Pooh-Bah, I appoint you Lord High Substitute.
And I should be delighted. Such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams. But no. At any sacrifice, I must set bounds to my insatiable ambition. I am so proud, if I allowed my family tried to be my guide, I volunteer to quit this sphere instead of you in a minute or two. But family pride must be denied and set aside and mortified and mortified.
My brain it teems with endless schemes for good and you or Titty. What if I quit the benefit that I'm confused and lose? Now every man today is glad to blow the light as best he can.
I heard one day a gentleman say that prisoners who were clubbed and cruel could hardly feel the fatal steel, and so a swing without much pain. If this is true, it's jolly for you, your courage true to witness a Jew.
I am so proud.
My brain it teems with endless schemes for good and you or Titty.
I volunteer
A swing without much fear. If this
Now
is
every man and so, although I'm ready to go,
silence in a dump, dump, dump. In a pestilence prison with a light bomb, bomb. Awaiting the sensation of a shot, shot, shot. From a chippy, chippy chop around a big black lump.
To sit in solemn silence in a dump, dump, dump. In a pestilence prison with a light bomb, bomb.
Awaiting the sensation of a shot, shot, shot.
From a chippy, chippy chop around a big black lump.
A dump, dump, dump. A light bomb, bomb. A shot, shot, shot. A big black lump.
To sit in solemn silence in a pestilence prison and awaiting the sensation of a chippy, chippy chop around a big black lump.
This is simply appalling. I, who allowed myself to be respited at the last moment, simply in order to benefit my native town, am now required to die within a month. And that by a man whom I have loaded with honors. Is this public gratitude? Is this... Oh, go away, sir. How dare you? Am I never to be permitted to soliloquize?
Go on, don't mind me.
What are you going to do with that rope?
But to terminate an unendurable existence.
Terminate your existence? Nonsense. What for?
You are going to marry the girl I adore.
Nonsense, sir. I won't permit it. I'm a humane man, and if you attempt anything of the kind, I shall order your instant arrest. Come, sir, desist at once, or I summon my guard.
That's absurd. If you reasonable, I might instantly perform dispatch with this dagger.
No, don't do that. This is horrible. Why, you cold-blooded scoundrel! Are you aware that in taking your life, you are committing a crime? Which... Oh. Substitute. Is it absolutely certain you're resolved to die?
Absolutely.
Will nothing shake your resolution?
Nothing.
Threats, entreaties, prayers, all useless.
Oh, my mind is made up.
Then, if you really mean what you say, and if you're absolutely resolved to die, and if nothing whatever will shake your determination, don't spoil yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the public executioner.
I don't see how that would benefit me.
You don't. Observe, you'll have a month to live, and you'll live like a fighting cock at my expense. When the day comes, there'll be a grand public ceremonial. You'll be the central figure. No one will attempt to deprive you of that distinction. There'll be a procession, bands, dead march, bells tolling, all the girls in tears, young, distracted. Then, when it's all over, general rejoicings and a display of fireworks in the evening. You won't see them, of course, but they'll be there all the same.
Do you really think Yum Yum would be distracted at my death?
Oh, I'm convinced of it. Bless you, she's the most tender-hearted creature alive.
I should be sorry to cause her pain. Perhaps, if I were to withdraw from Japan and travel in Europe for a couple of years, I might contrive to forget her.
Oh, I don't think you could forget Yum Yum so easily. Besides, what is more miserable than a love-blighted life? Life without Yum Yum? Why, it seems absurd.
And yet there are a good many people who have to endure it.
Poor devils, yes. You're quite right not to be of their number.
I won't be one of their number.
Noble fellow.
I'll tell you how we'll manage it. Let me marry Yum Yum tomorrow, and a month you may behead me.
No, I draw the line at Yum Yum.
Very well, if you can draw the line, so can I.
Wait, stop. Wait a moment. Reasonable. How can I consent to your marrying Yum Yum if I'm going to marry her myself?
My good friend should be a widow in a month. You can marry her then.
Well, that's true, of course. Yes, I quite see that. But, dear me, my position during the next month will be most unpleasant. Most unpleasant.
Not so half as unpleasant as mine at the end of it.
But, dear me, well, I agree. After all, it is only putting off my wedding for a month. But you won't prejudice her against me, will you? You see, I've educated her to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a wise and good man. Now, I shouldn't like her views on that point disturbed.
Trust me, She'll never learn the truth from me.
Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer. The Japanese equivalent. 'Tis Nanki-Poo. Hail Nanki-Poo. I think. Yes, you do. He yields his life, so I'll young surrender. Now I adore that girl with passion tender, and could not yield her with the ready will for her alone if I did not adore myself with passion tender still, with passion tender still. Oh yes, he loves himself with passion tender still. Take her, she's yours.
Long life
I. Broad lip, smooth tongue, thy drooping cheek, thy eyebrows away no prosecute of west from our intention well expressed. You cannot turn us. The state of youth and youthful youth towards the mountain you accuse does not concern us. For he's going to marry us. You had to say many you had to come. Come, there's something I pay you be come. You had to already, time so much more beautiful than anyone else in the whole world. Can this be vanity? No. Nature is lovely and rejoices in her loveliness. I am a child of nature, and I take after my mother.
Purely arbitrary. Who says 24 hours make a day?
There's a popular impression to that effect.
Then we'll face it. We'll call each second a minute, each minute an hour, and each hour a day. And at that rate, we've got 30 years of married happiness before us.
And at that rate, this interview has already lasted 4 hours and 3/4.
Yes,
That's the way to look at it. Don't let's go downhearted. There's a silver lining to every cloud.
Certainly. Let's be perfectly happy.
By all means. Let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry. Quite ridiculous. Brightly dawn our wedding day, joyous are we here be greeted, with a rod of bleeding, take a moment, prithee stay, take a moment, prithee stay.
But the mortal and joyfully follow,
Pleasant promise sorrows follow, though the Thomson sons and all, ding dong, ding dong, yet until the shadows fall over one and over all, sing a merry madrigal, sing a merry madrigal, sing a merry madrigal, fa la 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 Let us ride already here, though the hills are surely creeping, little need for woe for weeping, till the sundown is near, till the sundown is near.
all must sit down, cup of sorrow.
I will say as loud keeps the close of every song. Sing, ding dong, ding dong. What those solemn shadows fall, soon and later over all. Sing a merry madrigal, sing a merry madrigal, sing a merry madrigal, fa la 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 la
Go on. Don't mind me.
I'm afraid we're distressing you.
Never mind. I must get used to it. Only please, do it by degrees. Begin by putting your arm around her waist. There. Let me get used to that first.
Oh, wouldn't you like to retire? It must pain you to see us so affectionate together.
No, I must learn to bear it. Now, oblige me by allowing her head to rest on your shoulder.
Like that?
I'm much obliged to you. Now, kiss her. Thank you. Simple torture.
Oh, come, bear up. After all, it's only for a month.
No. It's no use deluding oneself with false hopes.
What do you mean?
My child. My poor child. How shall I break it to her? My little bride was to have been.
Was to have been?
Yes. You never can be mine.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I've just ascertained that, by the Mikado's law, when a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Very alive.
Buried alive. It's a most unpleasant death.
Where did you get that from?
Oh, from Pooh-Bah. He's my solicitor.
Oh, but he may be mistaken.
So I thought. So I consulted the Attorney General, the Master of the Rolls, the Lord Chief Justice, and the Judge Ordinary. They're all the same as me. Never been such unanimity in a point of law in my life.
But stop a bit, this law has never been put in force.
Well, not yet. You see, flirting is the only crime punishable with decapitation. And married men never flirt.
Of course, they don't. I quite forgot that. Well, I suppose I may take it that my dues of happiness are at an end.
Darling, I don't want to appear selfish, and I do love you with all my heart. I don't suppose I shall ever love anybody half as much. But when I agreed to marry you, my own, I had no idea, pet, that I would have to be buried alive in a month.
Nor I. It's the first I've heard of it.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does.
You see, burial alive, it's such a stuffy death.
I call it a beast of the dead.
You see my difficulty, don't you?
Yes, and I see my own. If I insist on marrying you, I doom you to a hideous death. If I release you, you marry Coco at once.
Here's how we do, if I marry you. When you join the soldiers' berries, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's how we do, here's how we do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. And this time without a wedding, that the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess. You'll sleep in fields, to the light of fields. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit their notion. Burial in rings, they'll sleep in things, they'll sleep in things. Here's a pretty howdy-do.
Here's how we do, if I marry you. When you join the soldiers' berries, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's how we do, here's how we do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. And this time without a wedding, that the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess. We'll sleep in fields, to the light of flames. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit their notion. Burial in rings, they'll sleep in fields, they'll sleep in fields. The lassie dancing takes on voices down and on. The Lord says the autumn to the river.
I'm very sorry for you.
Thanks, old fellow. I'm sure you are.
You see, I'm quite helpless.
I can quite see that.
I can't conceive anything more distressing than to have one's marriage broken off at the last moment. But you shan't be disappointed of the wedding, for you shall come to mine.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
Why so?
Today I die.
What do you mean?
I can't live without young mum. This afternoon I perform the happy dispatch.
No, pardon me, I can't allow that.
Why not?
Why, hang it all, you're under contract to die at the hands of the public executioner in a month's time. If you kill yourself, what's to become of me? Why, I should have to be executed in your place.
Certainly I fear so.
Now then, Lord Mayor, what is it?
The Mikado and his suite are approaching the city, and will be here in 10 minutes.
The Mikado? He's coming to see if his orders have been carried out. Now look here, you know, this is getting serious. A bargain's a bargain. You really mustn't frustrate the ends of justice by committing suicide. As a man of honor and a gentleman, you are bound to die ignominiously at the hands of the public executioner.
Very well then. Behead me.
What? Now?
Certainly, at once.
Oh, chop it up, Cuckoo, chop it up.
My good sir, I don't go about prepared to execute gentlemen at a moment's notice. Why, I never even killed a blue bottle.
Still, as Lord High Executioner...
My good sir, as Lord High Executioner, I've got to behead him in a month. But I'm not ready yet. I don't know how it's done. I'm going to take lessons. I mean to begin with a guinea pig and work my way up the stick until I get to a second trombone. Why, you don't suppose that as a humane man I'd have accepted the post of Lord High Executioner if I hadn't thought the duties purely nominal. I can't kill you. I can't kill anything. I can't kill anybody.
Come, my poor fellow, we all have unpleasant duties to discharge at times. What is it, if I don't mind, why should you? Remember, sooner or later, it must be done.
Must it? I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean?
Well, why should I kill you when making an affidavit that you've been executed will do just as well? Well, here are plenty of witnesses. The Lord Chief Justice, Master of Rolls, First Lord of the Treasury, and Chief Commissioner of Police.
So where are they?
There they are. They'll all swear to it, won't you?
Am I to understand that all us high officers of state are required to perjure ourselves to ensure your safety?
Why not? To be dreadfully insulted as usual.
Will the insult be cashed down or it abate?
It will be a ready money transaction.
It will be a useful discipline. Very well. Choose your fiction, and I shall endorse it. Ha-ha, family pride. How do you like that, my buck?
But I tell you, life without yum-yum.
Oh, yum-yum, bother yum-yum. Here, Commissioner, go and fetch yum-yum. Take yum-yum and marry yum-yum. Only go away and never come yum back here again. Ah, here she is. Yum-yum, are you particularly busy?
Not
Have
particularly.
you 5 minutes to spare?
Yes,
Then go along with His Grace the Archbishop of Pitti-Poo and he'll marry you at once.
but I find to be very
Now, don't
polite.
ask any questions, but go along and Nanki-Poo will explain all.
But one moment.
Not for worlds. Here comes the Mikado. No doubt to ascertain whether or not I've obeyed his decree. And if he finds you here alive, I shall have the greatest difficulty in persuading him I've beheaded you. Closing that, for here he comes.
In Mikado never did in Japan exist. To nobody's second, I'm certainly reckoned the truth will land at this. It is my very humane endeavor to make, to some extent, each evening river a running river of harmless merriment. My object was sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it was no pant, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, For the advertising quack who wearies with tales of countless wars, his two-eyed enactment shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. All desire to show, sheltering of powers, exhibit his powers to mend them to swords like smoke. The lady who dyes a chemical yellow or stains her grey her boots, or bleaches her wickedest painted with vigor and permanent walnut juice. The idiot who in railway carriages scribbles on window panes, we only suffer to ride on a bumper in parliamentary trains. My object was sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it as an apparent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
The object was sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it as an apparent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
All prosy, dark society sinners who chatter and beat and bawl are safety her sons from mystical Jones who preach from 10 till 4. The singer attends a series of masses and fugues and pops by barking to women with strong befitting classical Monday pops. The billiard sharp man catches his wounds extremely hard. He's made to dwell in a dirt and cell. On a spot that's always barred, and there he plays extravagant matches in fitless fingal stalls, on a cloth and floor with a twisted cue, and elliptical billiard balls. My object was sublime, I shall achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it was no parent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, innocent merriment.
The object was sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make it with the band, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
I am honoured at being permitted to welcome your majesty. I guess the object of your majesty's visit, your wishes have been attended to, and execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, have you?
Yes, the coroner has just handed me his certificate.
I am the coroner.
I see. And this is the certificate of his death. At Pitti-Poo, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Secretary of State for the Home Department, Minister for the Dome, Lord Mayor, and Groom of the second floor front.
Here they were all present, Your Majesty, and I counted them myself.
Very good house. I wish I'd been in time for the performance.
A tough fellow he was too, your majesty. A man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific. It really was a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state, while the law, with a frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bent my big right arm. I seized him by his little big head, and on his knees fell he, as squirmed and struggled and gurgled and gurgled. I drew my sneakers near. My sneakers near. Oh, never shall I forget why the shriek that shrieked at me as I gnashed my teeth when raw with sheep. I drew my sneakers near.
A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed. Had any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatever. On the contrary, I was going to marry him. And yet he fled.
I am surprised he should have fled from one so lovely.
That's not true.
No.
You know that I am not beautiful because my face is plain. But you know nothing. You are as yet unenlightened. Learn then that it is not in the face alone that beauty is to be sought. My face is unattractive.
It is.
But I have a left shoulder blade that is a miracle of loveliness. People come miles to see it. My right elbow has a fascination few are able to resist.
Do allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays on presentation of visiting card. As for my circulation, it is the largest in the world.
And yet, you fled.
And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes. Would it be troubling you too much if I asked you to produce him? He goes by the name of...
Nanki-Poo.
Nanki-Poo.
Oh, well, that's quite easy. That is, it's rather difficult. In point of fact, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Clad.
What's the matter?
See here, his name. Nanki-Poo, beheaded this morning. Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
dear, this is very tiresome. My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan. I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with that expression of regret.
We really hadn't the least notion.
Of course you hadn't. How could you? Come, my dear fellow, don't take on so. If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second unknown, he must take the consequences. I've no doubt he thoroughly deserved all he got.
Well, we are infinitely obliged, Your Majesty.
Much obliged, Your Majesty.
Too very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Obliged? Not a bit of it. After all, how could you tell?
No, of course we couldn't tell who the gentleman really was.
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
Well, it might have been on his pocket handkerchief. The Japanese don't use pocket handkerchiefs.
I forget the punishment for compassing the death of the heir apparent.
Punishment?
Yes, something lingering with boiling oil in it, I fancy. Something of that sort. I think boiling oil, but I'm not sure. I know it's something humorous, but lingering with either boiling oil or melted lead. But come, don't fret, I'm not a bit angry.
Your Majesty will accept our assurance we had no idea.
Of course.
I knew nothing about it.
No, I wasn't there.
That's the pathetic part of it. Unfortunately, the fool of an act says compassing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word about a mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion.
No.
Or not being there. No. There should be, of course.
Yes?
But there isn't.
Oh.
That's the slovenly way in which these acts are always drawn. However, cheer up, I'll have it altered.
Yes?
Next session. Now then, let's see about your execution. Will after luncheon suit you? Can you wait till then?
Oh, yes.
We can wait till then.
Good. Then we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm really very sorry for you all. But it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances. See how the fates their gifts allot, for A is happy, B is not, yet B is worthy, I dare say, of more prosperity than A. Is B more worthy? I shall say is never a great deal more than A. Yet A is happy, oh so happy, laughing, jumping, making, popping, joyous living, happy undeserving A. Joyous living, happy undeserving gain. If I were fortune, which I'm not, we should enjoy his happy lot, and they should die in misery. That is assuming I am we. But should it perish, that should he. Of course, assuming I am he. We should be happy, oh so happy, laughing, jumping, making, popping, but when there to die is he, wretched meritorious be. But when there to die is he, wretched meritorious be.
Well, a nice mess you've got us into with your nodding head and your deference due to a man of pedigree.
No, merely artistic detail intended to grip corroborative statements to evolve an otherwise unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail indeed. Corroborative fiddlestick.
And you're just as bad as he is. What with your cock and a bull stories about catching his eye and whistling an air? But that's so like you. You must put in your all.
But how about your big right arm?
Yes, and your Snickers to me.
Yes, well, never mind that now. There's only one thing to be done. Nanki-Poo hasn't started yet. He must come to life again at once. Ah, here he comes. Nanki-Poo, I've good news for you. You're reprieved.
Oh, it's too late. I'm a dead man and I'm off from a honeymoon.
Nonsense. A terrible thing has just happened. It seems you're the son of the Mikado.
Yes, but that happened some time ago.
Is this a time for airy persiflage? Your father is here, and with Katisha.
My father? And with Katisha?
Yes, he wants you particularly.
So does she.
Oh, but he's married now.
But bless my heart, what has that to do with it?
Katisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm already married. And consequently, she insists on my execution. If I'm executed, my wife will have to be buried alive.
You see our difficulty?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what's to be done.
There's one chance for you. If you can persuade Katisha to marry you, and she will no further claim on me, and I can come to life without any fear being put to death.
I marry Katisha.
I really think it's the only course.
But, my good girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
Oh, but that's just her face. She has a left elbow, which people come miles to see.
And I'm told that her right heel is much admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I decline to pin my heart upon any lady's right heel.
It comes to this. While Katisha is single, I prefer to be a disembodied spirit. While Katisha is married, existence will be welcomed as the flowers in the spring